Hello there, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop here in the beautiful Nashville studios. And today we're going to talk about custom slide cover plates and custom base plates. You know, it's really cool. The cool thing about Glocks is that you can customize them, should I say. And one of the most popular items is the back cover plate as well as the base plate for your magazines. So here's a base plate for the magazines. It's the USA flag. It's pretty cool, right? And then here's a corresponding slide cover plate, or back cover plate they call it, slide cover plate. Also a flag. But we've got a whole bunch of different designs, and I can show you some here packaged. Here's a trucker girl. See if you can get in close on that. Here's cards, bad kitty. I mean, it goes on and on. We have got, like 30 or 45 of these things, which is pretty crazy. There's the Tennessee Stars, see if you can see that. Now, I didn't want to take them out of the package, but you get the gist. And, of course, for the slide cover or for the base plate, same thing. We've got a whole bunch of different options. One of the really popular ones is just 9mm 40 caliber 45. So at a glance, you can look at your magazines in your bag and say that one's a 40 caliber and that one's a 9mm when they're sticking up, say, in a mag holder or something like that. So these are really popular because often many of us have multiple guns, and you have multiple magazines, and the 40 caliber and the 9mm look exactly the same from distance. The 10mm and the 45 look exactly the same from a distance. So by having them identified, either with that or some other type of way to identify them, it just makes sense. That way there's no mistakes. Now, we've got, like I said, about 35, maybe 45 different designs that are already done, or custom designs. But oftentimes people want to do something of their own, and we are able to do custom, super custom, exactly for you. So you can send us a picture or a logo. We've done law enforcement logos, we've done military logos, we've done company logos for people. We've done pictures of their dog, where we take a photograph and we turn it into a line art drawing, and then we turn it into the file that the laser accepts, and we actually laser engrave these. And you should be, you would be amazed about the different things that people send us. I'll just show you a real quick sampling of them. But we get all kinds of different samples. You can see that they're really cool and they're really different and unique. It's a different applicable item. It's the customize your base plate or customize your slide cover plate option versus one of the custom designs we already have kind of in production. So it's really basically a back and forth. Once you go ahead and click on it, we send you an email, say, hey, send us your file or send us your picture. We do some work on it. We quote it based upon how much work is done. If you send us just a photo out of a page, it's going to take a little bit more work than if you actually send us a file, obviously, right? But we keep it pretty much affordable. And we'll do them for you. Now, here's how we actually install these things. So I'm going to install the slide cover plate first. So this is for G43, G43X, G48, little tiny one. And I'm going to take my gun out of my holster, my $35 holster, and I'm going to drop the magazine. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the slide back and make sure the gun is unloaded. And I suggest you do the same whenever you work on a gun. Now, to install the slide cover plate or the back plate, you don't have to take the gun completely apart. We can lock the slide back using the slide stop and just kind of set it down here like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my punch out of my handy duty little punch set, which has just every size in it. I've already selected 2 different sizes, kind of I think the 3/32 punch, and this one is a little bit bigger. This one is the 1/8 punch. So I'm going to use the punch to depress the spacer sleeve that is underneath the slide here and is around the striker. The striker, I'm going to just lift the striker up, and underneath here, see if you'll see it, is a piece of black plastic. And I don't know if you see it or not, but let's see if I can pick it up here and get my finger out of the way. So there's a little piece of black plastic here, right there, and it's spring loaded. Now, what's happening is the slide cover plate on the back has a circle in it, and this spacer sleeve actually gets captured in that circle. So that's what captures it in place. So unless you remove the pressure off of that by depressing on this spacer sleeve with a punch, it's almost impossible to get it off because like I said, captured. You can do it, but you end up scarring or scratching. And we've seen our share of those over the years where people send us, say, hey, I need another one because this one's all scratched. And so they're taking pliers to it, or taking a screwdriver to it, or a knife to it, trying to pry it off. But it comes off with your thumb pressure if you take off the pressure with this punch. So I'm going to just push down on this spacer sleeve. And you can see it's kind of spring loaded, right? So you push down, and then I'm going to thumb off the actual slide cover plate. And I want to capture the items inside with my thumb. And I've removed it, and you'll see that here is that spacer sleeve. And then this is the extractor depressor plunger. The detent part is this piece right here, a little plastic piece. Okay, sometimes that'll go flying, so make sure you catch it with your thumb. Once you do that, it takes the pressure off and it's not going to fly away. But sometimes as you pull that plate off, it'll just go ding, and it get lost in your shag carpet. You'll never find it. So now, to install the new one, it's pretty simple. Basically, you want to go ahead and just preload the piece like so. Capture it with your thumb, just like that. Okay, I'm going to take the thicker punch. I'm going to push down the spacer sleeve. Okay, now I got it halfway down. Now I've got it halfway up. Now I got to take the smaller punch, or the thinner punch. I'm going to push down on the detent of the extractor depressor plunger. So I'm going to push that down. This little plastic piece. I'm push it down. It's spring loaded as well. And then start my my thumb plate with my thumb, my back plate with my thumb, and it'll snap in place now. So you push it down, you get it started, and it kind of captures it a little bit. Then you pull this out and you keep on pushing, and it goes ahead and snaps right in place. And that's what it looks like. It's pretty cool. I like that. Beautiful American flag right there on this slide cover plate. It works the same for all Glocks, basically. You've got the same concept going with a spacer sleeve, and you got to go ahead and release that pressure, and then just thumb that off. And again, keep your finger over top, your thumb over top of that back area, because otherwise something may fly away. Now, that's the cover plate. This is the base plate for your Glocks. This is a brand new Glock 17 magazine. Sometimes they're really tight when you first take them off, so you can do it with a punch. All right, you can actually punch inside here like so, pressing the insert plate, which is the piece inside with a little post on it. Push that in and then just push them off. It takes a little bit of muscle, especially the first time. So years ago, we developed this little tool, which is a magazine disassembly tool, the MDT. Nice and red, made in America. It's aluminum. It's going to last forever. Basically, it's like a can opener. You go ahead and put the post into the hole, depress that, and then just pop it off like so. And again, be careful to, there's a spring in there, right? Okay, so be careful. Keep your thumb over there. So as you pop it off, there it is, right? There's the plastic base plate. There's that insert plate I was talking about, and right below it is a spring. So we want to be careful as we take this off, because that spring is under some pressure and it will fly away. That insert plate will fly away. It can hit you in the face. The lawyers are going to say, make sure you wear safety goggles. So make sure you wear safety goggles. But always keep it pointed in the safe direction. Don't shoot it at your friend or your wife or your dog or something like that. So, but keep your thumb over top as you start to thumb this off. Let's see, I can pull it off a little bit more. It's like I said, it's always tight the first time. And here we go, and here comes now. Now I've got my thumb over top, and it's going to come off, and here comes the base plate off. Okay, there's the plastic base plate with a Glock logo. Here's the spring. That's the magazine spring. This is the insert plate. So if you lose that, that's what you're looking for. And they're different shapes and sizes for different magazines. So this insert plate is for the Glock 17 mag, and if you lose it, you're going to want to order that one as well, because we do sell a ton of these too, because people do lose them, because they go flying away. Okay, there's the spring. Now also, I want you to pay attention. While we're at it, might as well go take the whole thing apart. You can see that the bottom part is going to be a different shape than the top part. And you can also see that the magazine spring kind of coils. As it coils, it kind of gets a little smaller in diameter as far as the coils go. And then it comes up to the very top, and this is called the follower. So really there's, the 5 parts of a magazine are the insert plate, the base plate, the spring, the follower, and the body. Okay, so I took it all out just so you could see those, but also there's one other thing we need to do now. The plastic base plate has two little cutouts in it that get captured, and they kind of bend around these little posts on the magazine body. When we put an aluminum version on there, we have the cutouts as well, but sometimes it's hard to get them over top of that. So what I suggest you do is you cut them down a little bit. So it's very simple. Take your knife and you go ahead and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna score it a little bit right along the line there. I'll turn it like this way real quick. And again, the moving blade is the secret here. You don't have to do too much to it, just move it across if you have a good sharp blade. And then now I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it down just like that. It's still there a little bit, but I just cut a little bit of it off. And again, I'm gonna go ahead right here at the end, move the blade, and basically then move it again and trim off that piece that I just cut down. And I gotta do a little bit more. There we go. So I'm taking that much plastic off it. Not much, but just enough so that I can then work this plate, work this plate over top. Okay, once it goes over top, it'll get captured by the post in the insert plate. So it's not gonna come off until you depress that button. Now, that said, now we're gonna go ahead and put our spring and follower back in. It only goes one way. You can kind of see it's feeding the rounds up, so the upward version goes like so. If I try to put it backwards, it won't go too far. It'll get stuck. So you really can only go one way. Okay, there it is. Now, spring's still out, right? A lot of people say, well, what am I gonna do? Well, you're gonna go ahead and take that insert plate, and the post is up because it's gonna intersect with the base plate like so. Just like that, it's gonna intersect there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna capture the spring with our thumb and the base plate. Now I like to have everything kind of preset too. I don't wanna go looking for this guy, so I'm gonna kind of just stick it right there so I know where it's at. I'm gonna go ahead and get this insert plate on top. I'm gonna push it down and I'm gonna capture it with my thumb, just like I did on the outbound. Once I have it, then I can go ahead and put the base plate on. And sometimes you can just go ahead and use, the table or whatever, or you can just push it on by hand, which is what I'll do. And then you'll hear it click into place. And I gotta make sure that post is in the right spot. Here it comes. Sometimes the post does not line up, but you can reach in there with your punch and get it to line up and intersect properly like so. Now again, that captures the base plate onto the body of the magazine, because now it's not going to come off because that post is preventing it from coming off. So it's really important that you have that intersecting and fully flush as it should be. Sometimes it'll be a little bit off. Just go in there with a punch and kind of push it around until you find the hole, just like that. And there is the magazine with the corresponding American flag. Oops, wrong one. Right here. There we go. So, a couple different things going on here. One, we sell, these base plates and slide cover plates pre-designed, done. Two, if you're interested in a custom design, a logo, a police badge, a police department name, or a military insignia, we can do those too. And that's kind of our custom deal. And the way that works, like I said, you send us a file, we kind of clean it up, get it ready for engraving. We mock it up in a Photoshop kind of concept and show you what it's going to look like, send it back, get you to approve that, and then we burn it off with the laser, as you see. And then we ship it back to you. And we've done thousands over the years, thousands and thousands of different designs. And the key is, it's just a good way, a cool way to customize your particular Glock and even your particular magazines. You go to the range sometimes, a bunch of people shooting, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of magazines flying around. You come home, you're missing two. Well, what happened there? So the bottom line is if you can identify your stuff either with your initials, or with numbers or something, you know that that's yours. And you know, the other thing that a lot of people do is they'll number their magazines. They'll have like their name, like, you know, their initials, number 1, their initials, number 2, their initials, number 3, their initials, number 4. So as they're shooting, and you know, if they have a failure to feed or they have some kind of problem and it's always on number 4, maybe there's something wrong with that magazine. So it's a good way to identify some of those problems by marking your magazines. Even if you just, you know, put a little number 1 with a Sharpie or something like that, it's a good idea because as you know, as we all want to do, we all want to have a lot of magazines. If you have 8 or 10 or 12 magazines, which is not unusual, and you know you have failures, you're going to say, well, which one is, you know, is it the magazine or is it the ammo or is it, you know, what's going on? I want to, you know, you want to be able to identify that. And if number 4 or number 6 is always giving you trouble, then you know to really look at that magazine. So lots of value to all this stuff. And of course, the customization is always fun. And that's what's great about Glocks is you can do all kinds of custom cool things. And of course, we do it all here for you. We'd love to help you out. If you have a custom idea, send it to us and we'll work on it with you. So thanks for watching. I'm Lenny McGill. This, of course, is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop. We are on Rumble in case YouTube ever drops us. And I'd love you to subscribe, push that subscribe button, be part of it, because we keep on putting out videos because Glock and all these other great manufacturers keep on putting all these great products out, and we keep on, you know, adding them, and it's just amazing, you know, what's happened in this business even over the last 3 or 4 years with optics and all the other different things that are happening for Glocks and the Gen 5s and all kinds of cool stuff happening in the MOS, and you know, it's crazy. And it's like, you know, just when you think, you know, you've done it all, well, here comes something new. So keep informed, subscribe and be part of it. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.